Hey guys, so today we are going to be breaking down Goku and Bardock, the incoming tag LF character for part 2 of Legends Fest 2023. This is a tag character and they are very complex, so this video will probably be very long even though it's only for one character, but we'll try and move a little bit faster through this. I realize that a lot of my recent breakdown videos have gone on for a very long period of time. I still like to, I actually got a few comments in the last time for part 1 that said I don't need to read the yellow text. I like reading the yellow text because it gives you a feel as to what the developer's intentions were behind the way that they designed the character. So I'm going to continue reading this, but if you guys really don't want me to read the yellow text, you can let me know. If you guys like me reading the yellow text, let me know as well so I know what you guys like and what you don't like. Alrighty, so now's your chance to finally see this extraordinary father-son duo battle it out together in Legends. The Legends Limited tag character Goku and Bardock joined the fight. Goku is blue while Bardock is green. Goku is blue while Bardock is green. So Goku is going to be good against red, weak to green. And then Bardock is going to be good against blue and weak to purple. So this character is going to be weak to green and purple. And good against red and blue. Huh. That's interesting, because... Okay, sure. Fine. I don't think... That's because we've never really seen that. I mean, we saw, like, obviously Goku and Frieza can switch typings, but blue and green are not really related typings. This character's main feature is the new ability Indestructible. Thanks to Indestructible, when this character receives an attack that would reduce its health to 0, it will remain undefeated until the end of the enemy's combo. Not only that, Indestructible allows you to withstand attacks that nullify endurance effects. After surviving the enemy's attacks with Indestructible, health will be restored and unfavorable element factors will be nullified, giving you the chance to jump right back into the fight. This character also has a unique gauge. When it's full, nullify enemies, destroy card, reduce key, and reduce Dragon Ball effects. Okay, so you're immune to a lot of disruptive mechanics there. This will give you the chance to really put on the pressure without fearing of having your cards destroyed or key reduced. With the ability to reduce the enemy's arts card draw speed when entering the battlefield, as well as reduce their strike and blast arts power when performing a cover change, Goku possesses excellent defensive capabilities. Okay, so it sounds like Goku's going to be more of the defensive character, whereas Bardock's going to be more of the offensive character. Meanwhile, Bardock excels at offense, being able to reduce blast arts cost and also increase critical rate. Oh god, we're doing critical rate. I mean, at least they're not a Super Saiyan. And also increase critical rate after landing 3 or more hits with strike arts or blast arts. Experience the indestructible fighting spirit of Legends Limited Goku and Bardock. So of course, we're going to start with Goku here. Now, this is something that I talked about initially in... well, not initially, but just in my video yesterday when I was thinking, was it yesterday or was it 2 days ago? It might have actually been 2 days ago when I was speculating on, you know, how like a potential Goku and Bardock tag character would look in game. Here we go. I mean, they're not on many teams. They're literally on Saiyan and Sun Family, and that is it. Game Originals is not a team. Team Bardock is not a team. I guess technically you might be able to like squeeze out a Team Bardock team with the Zenkai LF Bardock that they announced today, but I mean, they're really just on Saiyans and Sun Family, and then they're just going to be leader slot. So we're kind of looking at like an LF17 almost situation here, where when he came out, he was not on very many teams, and he, you know, ended up being a leader slot demon. So we'll see if that's how they build this character too. But I mean, obviously Saiyans is a very expansive team, and you can build a lot of characters around them if that's the case. Alright, so switch ability, tag switch to Bardock and change your element to green. This ability will boost your arts card draw speed as well, which gives a powerful attacker like Bardock the perfect chance to go on the offensive. So switches own element to green, restores own health by 10% and key by 40, applies attribute upgrade, shortens sub count to 2 by 2 to self. Effect resets upon switch, 20% to damage inflicted for 20 counts. He gets card draw speed for 10 counts. Okay, so that's when you go from Goku to Bardock. Z ability, let's just take a look at the 14-star one. 3% to special move damage inflicted by tag Saiyan, and then 38% to tag Saiyan, Game Originals, or Sun Family, strike attack and defense. I'm just trying to think, are they really going to make the Game Originals team functional? Right? I mean, the Game Originals tag right now is completely dead. All you have are the free-to-play, what is it, Saiyan in red, you have like the Zaha character, Shallot, and then the Cyberman, that's it. So, not a very great team right now, but hopefully they continue to build on it. Alright, so Goku's strike arts come with blast armor, so you can charge right in without fear of incoming blast arts. And then he also has applies attribute upgrade minus 10% to enemy sustained damage cut effects to self for 10 counts. That is the Ultra Kid Buu effect. So Ultra Kid Buu also has that as well. Definitely going to contribute a lot to the damage. I think this is becoming more and more important as we move forward with units getting higher and higher sustained damage cut. This is actually just a lot of cases going to be better than getting damage. The ability to ignore a portion of the enemy sustained damage cut. Very powerful. And then he's going to be getting 5 ki upon activation of the blast card. All right, the blue card. Nullify the enemy's endurance effects on activation and seal their special arts on hit. Okay, that's pretty good. Sealing green cards on hit. I'll take that. Deals massive impact damage, applies the following effects itself upon activation. 50% to special move damage inflicted for 3 counts. 50. That's a lot. And then nullifies endurance, and then seals enemies' special arts on hit for 5 counts. So against characters that are constantly drawing green cards, I mean, the team that I used for God rank this past season I used both PyCon and Orange Piccolo, who just generate tons and tons and tons of green cards. So against a team like that, the ability to seal green cards is super powerful. Like when I fought the Gammas with that team, and they were constantly locking my green cards, I literally couldn't do anything. So that's very annoying. All right, and then the green card. Here we go, boys. The green card oftentimes is going to determine how good these characters are these days. So draw a Strike Arts card and nullify the enemy special cover changes on activation. So that sounds like it's going to be a stop time effect. Get an even bigger offensive boost by activating when the unique gauge is full. Okay, so yeah, they obviously have a unique gauge. We'll have to take a look at that once we get to it. Applies the following effects to self upon activation. Draws a Strike Arts card next. So the fact that they're drawing a strike card on this means that the opponent is going to know that, right? Once you've fought the character enough times as the opponent, you're going to know that when they use the green card, they're getting a strike card specifically. So a lot of times what they'll be able to do is know that and then switch to a character that has a strike cover change because they know you at least have a strike card in your hand. And then the same thing for like Rising Rush too. If you use a green card prior to rushing, they know that you have a strike in your hand and they can more easily guess that. So that's something to keep in mind. Restores ki by 50, 15% of damage inflicted for 15 counts, 15% to health restoration for 15 counts, and then they get cover null for 5 counts. Oh no, it says comboable. Wait, so is this? Actually, give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull up the video for this because this is some kind of attacking green card. All right, so I don't think they explained or showed the green card off during like the reveal and stuff here, but I looked through the trailer. I think this is an AoE green card. As we take a look at the initial portion of this bit here, this is their, I mean, this has to be their green card. I mean, this is an AoE, isn't it? That's an AoE. They have an AoE. I'm pretty sure they have an AoE green card. Either it's that or they just don't show it at all, which would be a little bit weird. Because this doesn't have blast armor on it. So either it's a melee green card that doesn't have blast armor, which is probably impossible at this point with a new Legends Limited unit. Or it's a ranged green card that they didn't show, or it's an AoE. I think it's like there's like a 98% chance that this is an AoE green card and this is it right here. So here we go, an AoE green card on Goku and Bardock. So this is drawing a strike card, giving you 50 ki is a lot. 50 ki, 15% damage, 15% health restoration, cover null for 5 counts. It's funny how they buffed the Great 8 Vegeta green card to give 10 seconds of cover null, whereas the Legends Limited character just gets 5. Okay, I mean, still pretty good though. If unique gauge is full, applies the following effects to self upon activation, cancel or applies attribute upgrade, minus 20% enemy sustained damage cut effects. That's really good considering it's going to be comboed on top of the already stacking strike effect. And then they cancel attribute downgrades in abnormal conditions. All right, so unique ability number 1. This character possesses an attack buff against Lineage of Evil. Yes, the ultimate menacing tag right now, Lineage of Evil. Reduces the enemy's strike, blast, special move, ultimate, and awakened arts power when changing cover. That sounds pretty good. And then endure enemy attacks with Goku, then make an opening for Bardock to go on the attack. So 20% to strike damage inflicted against tag Lineage of Evil. It's not overwhelmingly strong, but it's obviously just extra damage, which is fine. Applies the following effects self when battle starts. So 100% damage, 70% damage, reduced damage received, card draw speed, minus 7 to strike and blast arts cost. That's pretty good. Usually we don't see both. We only see like blast or one or the other. And then minus 10 to special move arts cost. Okay. Following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield. Charges own switch gauge by 40%. Really? So that's... Charging own switch gauge by 40% is every time he switches in. It's not once only. That's kind of reminiscent of the blue Kaioken Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta we just got, who charged their switch gauge up max when they switch out. It's kind of similar. Restore ki by 20, 60% damage inflicted activates once, cannot be canceled. And then they give the enemy -1 to card draw speed levels for 15 counts. That's pretty strong. So moving forward, I'm going to probably be a little bit more harsh on this effect right here. We really need this effect to apply to the entire enemy team. It can't just be to the current enemy. It's still good if it applies to the current enemy, but like you switch in with this character. A lot of times what will happen is you'll switch into a character defensively, and then the enemy will switch into a character that has type advantage against that unit. So what will happen is you'll apply the, card draw speed down effect to the current enemy, and then they'll just immediately switch, and it'll effectively be doing nothing because they're switching characters out. So this effect is a lot more powerful when it's being applied to the entire enemy team, but I guess this is still pretty good. Applies the following effects according to the number of times this character's strike or blast arts have hit. Okay, so it's both. One time they get 20% damage inflicted for 20 counts. 2 times they get nullify enemies' special actions. So they get cover null for 5 counts when they land the second strike or blast card upon switch in. That's interesting. So that's their cover null condition, is landing the second card. I think a lot of times that's just going to be you switching in with them and then like landing 2 quick blast cards. And then from that point on, you at least know that your next 5 counts are going to have cover null. 3 or more times, 10% to strike damage. Okay, so specifically to strike damage for 15 counts. And then, of course, it is going to reset when characters switch or tag switch. So what I'm seeing from this is what you're probably going to want to do. This actually kind of reminds me of Birder and Geese, the Geese side of Birder and Geese. Geese also has an effect like this, where when he lands 2 cards, he's drawing a blue, and stuff like that. So I think you're probably going to want to do, actually, is you're going to want to land 2 cards with one of the units, with either Goku or Bardock. Then you're going to want to tag switch to the other one, and then the next time you land, like the cover null will carry over to that, the second character, and then when you land 2 cards with that character, they will maintain the cover null and refresh it for another 5 counts. That's probably what this is going to be, so that's interesting. Following effects occur when changing cover: 15% to damage inflicted for 20 counts. 10% to strike damage inflicted for 20 counts, inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade, -10% to strike and blast arts power for 20 counts, and then 20% to special move ultimate and awakened arts power for 20 counts. And then draw a special move arts card next when this character enters the battlefield via tag switch. If unique gauge is full, activates once. Okay, so that is a guaranteed blue card draw, but you have to have the unique gauge filled up. All right, unique ability number 2. This character has a special cover change against strike arts attacks. Its greatest feature is the new ability Indestructible, with an effect that lets this character remain undefeated until the end of an enemy's combo when it receives an attack that would reduce its health to 0. Use Indestructible to withstand your opponent's major attacks like their Rising Rush or Ultimate Arts, then get back up and keep fighting. Alright, so as I just mentioned, cover change against strike arts that's comboable with the blue card. Following effects occur on receiving an attack that reduces own health to 0. Applies effect cannot be defeated to self. So this is, cannot be canceled, applies until enemy combo is finished, and of course it's only once, right? Cancels own attribute downgrades in normal conditions, nullifies own attribute downgrades under normal conditions for 15 counts, reduce enemy key by 50, randomly destroys 2 enemy cards, and then no switching for 5 counts. And of course the activation count is shared between Goku and Bardock. Can you imagine if this character had this twice? That's good. So it sounds like it can be used by both characters. Like, it's not just Goku who has this. It's not just Bardock who has this. Applies the following effects itself after cannot be defeated has ended. Charges unique gauge by 50%. Restores health by 50%. 50% is a lot. Nullifies unfavorable element factors for damage sustained for 15 counts. So they're type neutral for 15 counts. I mean, this literally is just a better endurance. Right? I mean, this is, in every single way, this is just better endurance. And this is just endurance V2, right? Okay. Slightly charges own unique gauge every time this character uses their switch ability. So again, it sounds like it's going to be a similar charge rate to the Gammas. I think the Gammas also have the wording slightly charges, so we'll see. Applies the following effects to self once unique gauge is full, activates once, 30% damage, cannot be cancelled. And then they get 20 counts of nullification of destroy card effect, reduce key effect, and then reduce Dragon Ball effects, which is obviously meant for them to be able to really just combo uninterrupted, right? Applies the following effects to self every time when hit with an enemy's special move, ultimate, or awakened arts attack while this character is on the battlefield. Restores health by 10%, activates 3 times, charges switch gauge by 70%. So that's basically guaranteed at that point. If you get hit by a blue card, your switch gauge is going to fill up to max. And then 20% damage inflicted for 20 timer counts. All right, so Bardock is green. Let me just see this. So 10% HP, 40 key, shorten sub count by 2, 20% damage. Yeah, this is the same. So both Goku and Bardock have the same tag or switch ability, which is fine. I think it's, having the same thing is fine because you don't have to worry about the differences. Bardock also has blast armor, also has the stacking sustained damage cut penetration, and then he gets the key on the blue card as well, or the blast card as well. The blue card. So in contrast to Goku, who seals the enemy's special arts, Bardock seals their special move arts on hit. All right, so that's really good. So if you land the blue card on like Beast Gohan, you know that Beast Gohan doesn't have a blue card to use for the next 5 counts, which actually can be pretty significant because a lot of Beast Gohan, what he's doing is based off of his blue card. This is the same thing as Goku though. Massive damage, 50% special move damage, and then nullifies endurance. So it's fine. The green card, like Goku, this character has a very useful special arts that can nullify enemy special cover changes. Use it when unique gauge is full, and you can cancel own attribute downgrades or abnormal conditions. Draws a strike card next, 50 key. Yeah, this is the exact same as Goku. Exact same green card as Goku. Again, I think this is an AoE green card, which is certainly one of our favorite mechanics. So we'll see. All right, so unique ability number 1. This unique ability grants offensive buffs depending on the number of times you land a blast arts or a strike arts, including special cover change and nullification and a buff to critical rate. So the following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield. So this is obviously also going to apply when you switch into the character. So when you switch, it sounds like when you switch into Bardock, he's automatically going to have 40% of his switch gauge charged, which is very significant because they're charging their unique gauge based on how many times you're tag switching. So this sounds like it's going to be pretty easy to fill up. And then don't forget, you're going to be able to like chain cover nullifications because every second card that you use with both Goku and Bardock, this right, oops, not that. Hold on, I accidentally pulled up a different window. Hold on. No. All right, here we go. This right here. Every time you use the second Striker Blast card per tag switch, you're getting cover nullification, which you should be able to just chain between the switches. So it sounds like they're going to have a pretty easy time of building up that switch gauge and unique gauge. Sounds similar to the Gammas in that regard. So he gets 20 key as well, 50% to own key recovery, which is going to activate upon his first entry, which is pretty cool. And then minus 25% to enemy health restoration. Applies the following effects self-according to the number of times this character's strike or blast arts have hit. This sounds like the same thing as Goku, 20% of damage inflicted for 20 counts. Actually, is that the same? 20% for 20 counts? Let me just make sure. Yeah. So the only thing that's different about Goku and Bardock is Goku's getting 10% strike damage on the third one, and then Bardock is getting critical rate on the third one. 25% to critical rate for 15 counts, up to 50%. So you're going to be able to stack that twice, which, 50% critical rate is not bad. Like that's going to be a lot of crits. Applies the following effects self when enemy switches characters while this character's in the battlefield. 20% damage for 10 counts, 10% to strike damage inflicted, 30% to key recovery for 10 counts, and then minus 5 to blast arts cost. And then he has the same effect as Goku, where he draws a special move arts card when this character enters the battlefield via tag switch if your unique gauge is full. So you're building up your unique gauge, and then once you have the full unique gauge, you're going to be drawing blue cards once per side, right? So that can be pretty strong. And then whenever the enemy's switching out, when you have Bardock on the battlefield, like he's going to get a lot of buffs here. It's not bad. Like Goku, Bardock has a special cover change against strike arts attacks, charges the unique gauge by tag switching, and when the unique gauge is full, nullify enemy to strike card and reduce key effects. Yeah, so same thing as Goku here. Cover change against strikes, knocks back, and then comboable with the blue card. He has the same indestructible effect as Goku. Everything here is the same, it looks like. No switching, reduce enemy key, reduce their cards, heal up. This is the same. It's a shared ability between both sides. So it's only going to activate once, but again, it's just a better version of Endurance, is what it sounds like. And then the same thing here. It's the same exact thing. It slightly charges on unique gauge every time this character uses their switch ability. So it's the same exact thing. Applies the following effects every time this character is hit with a special move, ultimate, or awaken card. And that's also the same thing. So they mostly sound like they're the same character, right? Both sides, which I think is fine. Honestly, it makes it a lot easier to use them. as a tag character. The only, honestly, I think there's two noteworthy things about this character. The first one is going to be the fact that they have this obviously indestructible mechanic here. This probably is going to be very broken, right? This is probably obviously in the same realm as a revive. Right? I mean, it's just a revive, essentially, right? It's a revive that actually, it honestly might just be better than revive because you're also getting all of these additional effects. You're getting your unique gauge built up. You're healing a ton. Actually, revive heals a ton, but you're getting your unique gauge built up. You're getting type neutral defensively. You're reducing the enemy's ki. Locking them in for 5 counts is pretty big. It kind of reminds me a little bit, actually, of Purple Cell, who locks the enemy in when he dies. There's a lot going on here, actually, for this character when they actually have their thing activated, their indestructible activated. It's gonna deter Rising Rush a lot of the time. Like this is actually pretty interesting. I'm curious to see how this impacts the game. And then the other thing to mention is just I think their typings, because we haven't really seen this before. Goku is blue, and then Bardock is green. Because typically when we see tag switch characters have different typing, so Goku and Frieza and then the Ginyu Force have this, where Goku and Frieza is purple and blue. Guldo and Raccoon are green and yellow. Geese and Bird being red and blue is kind of the same thing as this, huh? Yeah, actually, Geese and Bird are the only ones that have this, where one color doesn't cover the weakness of the other color. So, I guess we actually have seen this before with Geese and Bird, technically. But like Goku being blue, he's weak to green, but then Bardock doesn't Bardock doesn't cover that weakness to green. He's a completely different typing. He's green himself. So we'll see. We'll see how that impacts the character. But they sound kind of very similar to the Gammas, which is good because the Gammas are still ridiculous. So we'll have to see how this character operates in game, how they work, how good they feel. They're going to be comboing a lot. They sound very powerful. Obviously, this has a lot of implications for the future of the game in terms of just releases because this is the first what if LF character that we're getting. They're actually a game original unit. So we'll see if they continue to give us game original releases down the line. Let me know down below what you guys think of Tag, Goku, and Bardock here for part 2 of Legends Fest 2023. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one.